Look at the weather.
It's beautiful here.
Non-stop rain.
Oh, man, it is a blazer out there.
It's cold and it's shivery.
It is cold.
Really coming down here.
I really enjoy your weather reports.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, we're talking weather in a whole new way. From historical events to what's coming up, plus weather news, science, safety, fun facts, and more.
I like where this is going.
This is Weather Weekly. Weather Weekly with Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey.
It is Weather Weekly, a special edition here. We did snow talk during much of the winter season. We're going to do one called Storm Talk here, as we have a chance for some strong to severe thunderstorms across the Midwest and really better chances heading down toward the deep south as well. We're going to talk about the timing of the storms, the risks involved as well. That's coming up next here in a special edition of Weather Weekly next.
Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. When it comes to what kind of romance you're into, you don't have to choose just one. Fancy a dalliance with a duke, or maybe a steamy billionaire. You could find a book boyfriend in the city and another one tearing it up on the hockey field. And if nothing on this earth satisfies, you can always find love in another realm. Discover modern rom-coms from authors like Lily Chu and Ali Hazelwood, the latest romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros, plus Regency favorites like Bridgerton and Outlander. And of course, all the really steamy stuff. Your first great love story is free when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
All right, March 30th, 2022. This is on a Wednesday and a special edition of Weather Weekly Storm Talk as we anticipate the possibility of some strong storms moving through, locally, central Indiana, which is who we service here in Wish TV in Indianapolis. But anybody that is listening to this outside of our viewing area in central Indiana, certainly heads up to those that live in the mid and deep south, as this will be a multi-state severe weather event. So let's kind of start there. The bullseye for severe weather for this afternoon is really Mississippi, right in the center of a moderate risk, or a level 4 out of 5 risk. That's pretty high. Now, again, and we mentioned this earlier in the week, if you were listening to the podcast on Monday, that this is prime severe weather season for the Gulf Coast states. Mississippi, Alabama specifically included in that. This is their prime tornado season. Late March, heading into April. So they're under a moderate risk, for severe storms. There is a enhanced risk that stretches all the way up as far north as southern Illinois. Slight risk then slides into southwestern Indiana. Does not include the Indy Metro. We're kind of on the marginal risk, a level 1 out of 5. Indy included in that here. In terms of probabilities, for tornadoes, it's only about a 2% chance. So that's a non-zero risk. Here in the metro area, about a 5% risk in southwestern Indiana. Much higher risk in that moderate zone. The Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama area, that's a 15% chance. That's pretty high. And it's a hatched area as well, which means there's a 10% chance or greater probability of an EF2 to an EF5 tornado within 25 miles of a point. And that is in that same 15% area for tornadoes. So hatched area, not good. Means that there's some ingredients there for some long track, very strong, violent tornadoes. The wind, I think, actually is more impressive here. There is a 45% chance. You're almost a 50-50 shot of getting severe wind. So wind gusts of nearly 60 miles per hour or higher. And then the hatched area is a 10% chance or greater probability of wind gust at 65 knots. So that is getting into that 75 to 80 mile per hour range for severe winds. That's the hatched area. And again, that is in that same zone, that moderate zone that I was telling you about: Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, and extreme western Tennessee, which would include Memphis, Tennessee. The big cities that are included in this 45% hatched area, if you will: Memphis, Birmingham, Baton Rouge, Montgomery, and Mobile. So I know if maybe some of you are from central Indiana and you are on spring break down around the Gulf Shores area, be aware that there's going to be some nasty, nasty storms heading your way. So not good. 74 miles per hour was the conversion there for the hatched area, 75 miles per hour or higher. That's well above severe limits. Severe limits is 58 miles per hour. That classifies as a severe thunderstorm warning. So we, by the way, here in central Indiana are under a 5% risk for severe wind. So that means 5% probability, 58 mile per hour winds within 25 miles of a point. All right, so not super high, but that I wouldn't be shocked if maybe we don't get a severe thunderstorm warning or two. There could even be a tornado warning or two coming, especially out of southwestern Indiana. That's kind of where it looks like it's all evolving. All right, so let me flip over to the model I've been watching here. In terms of timing for this event, already kind of ongoing. I'm recording this at 8:30 in the morning, and so we've already had a couple of tornado watch boxes out for Texas and Oklahoma very early this morning. That has now shifted to southern Missouri and Arkansas at the time of this recording. And we'll likely see more of these start to extend eastward as we go throughout the day. So looking at the high resolution data here, by around noon, you're going to see this line of storm stretching basically from western Illinois through Missouri, central Arkansas, and western Louisiana. We're going to go ahead and skip ahead to 3 o'clock. These are all Eastern time, by the way. That line of storms now stretching from central Illinois to near the boot heel of Missouri, eastern Arkansas, and eastern Louisiana by 3 p.m. this afternoon. We'll skip ahead to 6 p.m. Storms have yet to arrive in central Indiana, but you'll have a very long line of storms from southern Illinois through western Kentucky, western Tennessee, central Mississippi, and then it looks like it will start to churn into Indiana by around 7, 8, 9 o'clock. And that severe line really rolling through central Tennessee, northwestern Alabama, and southern parts of Mississippi before this starts to kind of tail off into Georgia by around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So timetable for central Indiana, the thinking here is probably around 4 p.m. at the earliest, and that's in probably western counties. I think probably even a little bit later than that, maybe around 6 p.m. or so. And then this will go to around 11 o'clock at night, I think is probably our severe weather risk. I do think it's important to note that we will still have rain in central Indiana after 11 p.m., but I think our severe weather threat should be long gone by that point. So just be weather aware. Make sure you have a way to get alerts. Weather radio is best. Weather app is your next best thing. And we like to mention, make sure you have multiple ways of getting those alerts. So weather radio plus a weather app is a very good solution there. So make sure you're checking up on that. Many apps, I know I can give you a plug for ours, but there's many other good ones as well that are free, and they base the warnings on your location. You can set it for your home, but you can also set it if you, say, work away from home in a different county, a different location, if you travel, that kind of thing. So, and specifically, if you're listening to us and you are on spring break right now, say you're listening to us down around the Gulf Shores or Pensacola area where there is a chance for severe weather, all up and along the Gulf Coast, make sure a way that you may not be as familiar with the county names and stuff like that. Make sure you have a good way to get alerts through weather apps. And again, you can do that for free with a Storm Track 8 weather app. We'll have a look at the rest of your forecast, the rest of the week. It looks like a big cool down on the way following all of this rain, warmer temperatures, and some winds as well. That's coming up next here on Weather Weekly. Here's a quick look at your forecast as we roll through the rest of the week after we get rid of this wind and the cold front and the strong to severe thunderstorms this evening. A little bit quieter, although we'll still have some precipitation chances. It looks like kind of lingering around for your Thursday. Temperatures will be considerably cooler. We'll be into the upper 40s, it looks like, both Thursday and Friday. Friday does look to be a dry day under partly cloudy skies. We'll bring back a chance of showers with a weak little wave coming in Saturday, but we should boost our temperatures back to the mid-50s and and upper 50s as we head into Sunday. Should see some numbers back to the lower 60s heading back to work and school on Monday of this upcoming week, and middle 60s could be on the way with a chance of showers for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. That would return us back to at least above average temperatures, just barely, as we start rolling through that first full week of April. Thanks for checking out this special edition of Weather Weekly, this Storm Talk edition. Again, as we mentioned earlier, make sure you have a way to get warnings here. Weather Radio is best, but various weather apps, and I know it's a plug just for our own station one, but it does a really good job. The Wish TV weather app is a free download. You can search that in your phone's app store, but it will be based on your location. So if you, say, work in a different county compared to where you live, if you're a traveling person for a work day, it will let you know if there is a weather alert going on in your county. So make sure you check on that. It was very helpful for me when we were down in Gulf Shores, and there was actually a couple of tornado warnings that happened while we were there. Was able to easily kind of just keep an eye on things when otherwise, in most instances, when you're on vacation, you're not paying attention to. So make sure you check that out. Also, check out all the other great podcasts, part of the All Indiana Podcast Network. We'll talk to you next week.
Discover more from Storm Track 8 Weather and Wish TV. Online at wishtv.com, and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Plus, be sure to check out more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.